Uncle Howdy and the WYATT SICK6 are finally here, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since I saw that amazing debut. It might just be the greatest debut of all time in the history of WWE, but a lot of people had their opinions on this faction, and a lot of people have the question of where is this going? What's next? So that's what we're going to try to answer here today. Let's take a look at what you had to say about the WYATT SICK6 group and where this thing is going. So I asked you over on x.com/conman167, and I'm really not used to saying x.com. It's Twitter to me, damn it. But I asked, now that we've had some time to rewatch this debut 500 times, because let's face it, we've all probably watched it that many times, it's time to ask the big question, what do you think is next for the WYATT SICK6? And also, I don't know, is it the WYATT SICK6 or is it the WYATT 6? Let me know in the comments. But in classic wrestling fandom, we can never take anything seriously. Andrew over here says R-Truth is gonna be joining the WYATT 6. Can you imagine? He just shows up in the background. You've got all these creepy characters and R-Truth just shows up. He's just like, hey guys, want to make some money? But I think a lot of us actually have the same sentiment right here as Ryder, that this is one of those situations where I want to see how it plays out without guessing what they're going to do next. It's one of those take me on the journey vibes. And that's a very good point, because if we're going to guess where this thing is going, we're probably going to ruin what this story truly is. We just have to sit back, relax, and just let it happen on our TV screens. It is so out there. It's so unlike anything we've ever seen in pro wrestling history that there's really no guessing what's going to happen, and nothing is off limits. Now, I also got my buddy C Wrestling to send over his theory as to what's next. If you don't know who C Wrestling is, he's the best in the game when it comes to covering all of the Uncle Howdy stuff. So go check him out on YouTube, C Wrestling UK. But this is what he had to say as to what's next for the WYATT 6.
Six are here to cause carnage, and not unnecessary carnage, but carnage that they deem a form of justice. Every single member of the group has been underutilized, and every single member of the group, most importantly, has been lost. But now, just like lost sheep, they're found. And their new puppet master is going to utilize them to the best of their ability, playing off of each character and individual's certain strengths, maybe even crossing over to their own personal stories of revenge as they demand justice. Just a personal want, I wouldn't complain at all if the new WYATT 6 faction was to actually show up on a Conman 167 live stream and leave him just like Chad Gable.
What?
It would be entertaining for us to watch, right?
What the? What? Why? What? Why? Why do you want me to be offed? What? See? What? Yo, that was a murder. That was Yo, did C Wrestling just put a hit out on me? I mean, now I'm scared AF, thanks, C. Let's continue on with more of your guys' tweets, though. James Grant over here says, probably what's next is they're going to show vignettes about how they all got together and what the main goal is. And I hope it's not vignettes. Like, there can be some vignettes for sure, and there can be, like, you know, these videos playing backstage and all that. But what I truly hope it is I hope it's a mission statement. I hope we find out what the goal of this group is right away. I don't want to wait another 2, 3, 4 months to find out what's next for them in terms of their goal as to why they are here in WWE. I just want to hear it and then let the story unfold. You don't got to tell me every little detail about the story, where it's going and all of that, but I want to know why they are here. Why did they commit a massacre? Why did they kill Chad Gable? Ashley over here says, I would honestly not have them wrestle till Survivor Series. Let them keep causing havoc so the locker room has to put a team together to fight them in War Games or something. I mean, that's outlandish. I'm not against it. I look, it could be really, really funny if like this WYATT SICK6 group like doesn't wrestle for the longest of time, but also at the same time, I know fans are going to lose interest if they don't wrestle soon. So I'm hoping that, you know, like the masks are just kind of that. They're not going to wrestle in, say, the Buzzard mask, or in Nikki Cross isn't going to wrestle in that mask that she's in. It's almost like they take the mask off and then they wrestle, so revealing who their real identity is underneath. I don't know, but like that could be a good direction to go, because they've got great workers in there. You know, all of them can work. Dexter can go in the ring, Nikki can go in the ring, Joe Gacy can go, Eric Rowan can go, Bo Dallas is a good wrestler. So it's just a matter of what is their true purpose here. And do they intend on wrestling matches? Do they intend on going after championships? I mean, to me, that feels weird. I don't really want to see them go after titles. It's kind of what killed the Fiend character to begin with. But yeah, I mean, We just need to know their mission statement. Naro says, I don't know what's next, but looking at who they attacked, some are hard to tell. Maybe they're going after people who have betrayed / forgotten / mistreated their families. Kaiser and Gunther turned on Vinci. Judgment Day are forgetting about Rhea. Chad has abused the Alpha Academy. And I think you're onto something right here. It seems like the WYATT SICK6 group is all about family. And it makes sense because they're doing it in honor of Bray. And Bray being like the leader of their family, you know, it means family means a lot to them. And all these people that were taken out seem to have forgotten about their family, their true family. So I'm interested to see if this is the direction they're moving in. It makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't say thank you anymore. It's like, yeah, you don't say thank you anymore. You disrespected your family as well. Like Chad Gable, you're going to get got by the WYATT Six. It's an interesting direction, and I actually quite like it. I hope that's the case. I hope they're just basically like this form of justice in WWE, similar to The Shield, but basically in a spooky dooky fashion, all right? That's what I want to see. Just let them be these justice seekers backstage, if that's a word. We're gonna roll with it. That's what I want to see. Just let them cause havoc for weeks and weeks on end. Zero says, I'm curious on their first target. I do think we know that one. I do think it's Chad Gable, but it could end up being literally everybody they attacked. And I'm also one of those people that are, when I look at those images where we saw maybe Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser laid out, we saw maybe Carmelo Hayes laid out, maybe Braun Strowman was laid out. There's a lot of people who are just laid out backstage, but we couldn't certainly tell if that was who they were. Now, if those were the people, if they were like the real superstars that were attacked and not just some security guards, then it could be anyone. But I think with how it was focused on Chad Gable, I think we know what the first feud is. It's Chad Gable versus the WYATT Six. And I think that's going to lead to Chad Gable needing some help, needing some people to look after him, i.e. the Creed brothers. Maybe Ivy Nile joins as well. There's a lot of directions they could go with that, but I do think Chad Gable is the focus of the WYATT Six to begin with. Nasia says, taking back Bray's Fireflies from Jey Uso. Jay said they can have them back, yeet, but they won't feel that they have the Fireflies back until they destroy Jey Uso, I reckon. And that is an interesting one as well, because Jey Uso, his entrance, or I guess whatever, his yeetness was happening at the end of Monday Night Raw. He was yeeting all over the place, and then the lights went out. So they could be targeting Jey Uso. That could be a thing. But I do believe it's Chad Gable first, and then maybe they roll into Jey Uso. You know, let's face it, Jey Uso fits into that story as well. He did leave his family, right? Like he left them, and he turned his back on family, and that's something that the WYATT Six don't seem to love, like family above all else. So maybe there's something there. Tyler Morrison says, I say they should just keep up with the massacres each week for a bit. Just different areas, like the interview area, locker rooms, random backstage areas. Also, Howdy needs some face paint. I'm not sure if Howdy needs to change anything about his look. I thought Howdy looked amazing. Let's back that up a little bit, though. If we have massacres happen each and every single week, it's not going to be that special, and it's going to really start to become difficult to book. You can't just kill off characters every single week. Like, I don't even know if Chad Gable's alive, all right? We might be going back to Shorty G for all we know. You can't just do that every single week. It'll lose its magic, and people will get bored of it very quickly, and then it'll just cause a whole bunch of issues. But I am down for a SmackDown massacre. I'm down for them to just make their impact felt on both brands, make it feel like they can show up on either Raw or SmackDown. I'm here for that. So another massacre, sure, maybe another one down the line if we really want to get into that, but I need that mission statement. I need to know why they are here and what is next for them, or at least what's next in the immediate future for them. D-Bell says, let her in. Let's talk about the possibility of Alexa Bliss. Some people were saying Alexa could be seen backstage while all this was going on, and that may or may not be true. I honestly don't know. Photoshop is a real thing, and AI is great these days, so anything could have been faked online. I don't know if she was actually there in the background. What I do know is that she wasn't represented right out of the gate here with this WYATT Six. It feels like she could still be a part of it. It absolutely does, because there is only 5 members in this WYATT Six group. But there is a lot of people also saying that it could be Bray Wyatt as the 6th member, like the lantern representing Bray. His spirit is there with the WYATT Six. It could be something like that. And honestly, it's not that outlandish to think that maybe Uncle Howdy will talk to the spirit of Bray and get guidance from the spirit of Bray or something like that. So it could still be just those 6 people in there. However, there is only 5 on screen, which does leave the possibility of a 6th member. Some people saying it could be Alexa, some people saying it could be Braun Strowman. I don't really know. If I could pick one, I think Alexa would fit in perfectly. It would allow Alexa and Nikki to team up again together if they would really like to venture down in that direction. You know, former women's tag team champions, I believe, was Nikki and Alexa. So I'm here for it, right? I'm here for those 2 to be reunited in a spooky faction. Why not? But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say we see Alexa Bliss interact with this group in the future for sure. Whether or not she's a part of it is yet to be seen. Chuck over here says, New Age Dark Era Carnage. Use them wisely, interfere, scare tactics, matches with Loomis, Rowan, Nikki, Gacy. Howdy interferes for wins. Alexa comes back. However it works, just be smart and make the most of it. Whichever the case, WWE needs to use them as much as possible. The best way they can keep fans on edge and involved. It's always more money, more fan attendance with Bray Wyatt 6 stuff. And that's a good point. Just get them on the screen. This is a cash cow ready to be milked. There's so much merchandise opportunities. There's so many different ventures that they can make money off of this group. Like, you just got to get them on TV and just keep them strong on TV. Yeah, their merch will sell like hotcakes, dude. You see that Uncle Howdy mask in the back? Yeah, I'm the mark who buys that type of stuff. All right, throw all the masks out there and you might see the back of the wall covered in those masks. Roz says this is most of us, with Plankton saying, I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far. Fair. We all thought maybe they were going to push it off another week or 2 or a month or 2 or a year or 2 or whatever. But like, no, it actually happened. So yeah, I guess that's a fair comment. Black Toad says, I think they might screw Jay out of Money in the Bank because he technically abandoned his family, which might be the theme of the WYATT 6, and he will help Jimmy and Roman again. Interesting. So the catalyst to bringing Jay back with his family as well could be the WYATT 6? Maybe. Steve says, I don't know, but they can't go in as full with the supernatural thing. It's too easy just to have them do that, but it just books them into corners, like they did with Bray. I hope it's more of a Devil's Reject kind of vibe, but I'm excited to see what next, and I think that's the case. I've heard a lot of rumors, people saying that this is going to be rooted in reality more than supernatural. It seems like it's going to be a cross between the two. Like, there's definitely going to be supernatural elements to this character, and these characters similar to how Undertaker had the supernatural type of stuff, but I don't think they're going to step too far into that realm. I do believe we're going to see mostly this based in reality, or about as reality as we can get with this. It is WWE after all, so we got to have a little bit of suspense and disbelief, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's going to be rooted in reality more than I want to say some other mystical stuff has happened in the past with WWE. Yeah. And Reem with an interesting thought right here, saying Alexa Bliss as the true leader. I never thought of that. It's kind of intriguing. What do you guys think? Is that something you want to see? Alexa Bliss being the leader of this group somehow? Jonathan over here, quoting Wheezy Blonde on YouTube, go check out her videos if you haven't already done so, said in her video that the direction is they are going to focus on people who have turned their back / betraying those close to them, then maybe go after Seth first. Maybe cost him the title match at Money in the Bank. That's an interesting direction, going after Seth. I don't know what the correlation is to the family and Seth Rollins. I guess maybe all those years back with the Shield. Maybe they get even for him all those years back on the Shield, but like, it could also be a circle thing. You know how there's always been these circles involved with Bray Wyatt and the Fiend and all of that. I wonder if it could be a play back on like one of the first feuds with the Fiend going after Seth Rollins. Maybe that's something there, but like, I don't know. I don't see Seth Rollins versus this group happening anytime soon, but maybe I'm wrong. However, I will say I love that idea about them going after people who have betrayed family. I think that's a really good purpose for this group. This is interesting. Sarah D said, read a thread this morning speculating that the faction is targeting the 7 deadly sins. Huh. Omega says promising, make it a slow build putting titles on them, don't make it too spooky, flesh out all the characters and build with good stories. They can be a good faction going forward. It's something needed in TV as Judgment Day are not spooky. And I agree with you. This is absolutely something that is needed for WWE right now, and it adds a lot of depth to the roster, whether it be in the mid-card main event or anywhere else. I love the direction of this, and I think it's going to be a great part of WWE moving into the near future. Just excited to see what's next. And then our last comment right here by Kenny says, have them show up on SmackDown like a violent storm, destroy people again, and then radio silence, but return at Money in the Bank to wreck more people, possibly even the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm not opposed to that, putting them on screen twice in 1 week and then keeping them off screen for a little bit and then reintroducing them at a pay-per-view. I'm not against that, but if that's the case, then by the pay-per-view, we need to know what their mission statement is. And I know I've said that already a bunch of times here throughout this video, but like that's going to be what makes or breaks this story in the long term, I would say, is now that we've seen them, now that we know what they look like and what the vibe is with this group, we have to know why they're here. We can't be speculating for another 2-3 months as to why they're here. We can speculate who they're going after next. We can speculate what the next stories are and all that, but we need to know their purpose. We need to know what makes them tick and why are they back. But that's it here for this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then by all means go over to x.com/conman167 and drop a follow over there, as I'm going to be asking more questions about massive stories moving into the future. Thank you so much for giving this channel a chance, and while you're down in the comments telling me your thoughts on this WYATT SICK6 group and where it's going, make sure you leave a like on the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and turn those notifications on so you never miss another upload. Thanks for watching. We have a lot more coming for you, so stay tuned. Have a great day.